Hey everyone, welcome back to the Convos podcast, where we get down to the nitty-gritty aspects of life. We have new episodes every Wednesday, so make sure to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, make sure to check us out on social media at the Convos podcast. We have a nice TikTok and a nice Instagram, which we're vamping up. Also, I totally forgot, in-person episode. This is us. Hello. Hey everyone, welcome back to a cafeteria conversation. Today, we are in my basement. It's not a cafeteria, but it's a basement.
Cafeteria conversation.
Welcome to a new episode of Basement Conversations.
Stop, okay.
We are all safe. We're following COVID guidelines set out by our local government.
Local government. You know.
You know the vibes. Anyway, in this episode, it's going to be myself, Naman. I'm here with Anna and Emma. And today we'll be talking about mental health. We're not gonna go super into we're not if you need statistics and everything.
That's not us. We're just gonna be talking about our own experiences with mental health as adolescents and in our society in the 21st century.
Because I feel like a lot of the time, mental health, especially for people our age, and I guess for immigrants especially, children of immigrants, kind of looked over. Especially our age, because it's you're a kid, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna grow up.
Yeah, and also us with the internet, I think that has played a huge role in our mental health. School. I think school is the biggest player.
I would say internet for me.
Oh really?
I'd say for me internet.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
And also, if we have time, probably mental health during COVID. If that ties into anything,
I feel like it does tie into things.
Definitely tied into 100%. School for me. So, shall we start?
I guess we shall.
We shall start.
All
okay.
Right. So I guess we can start from when we're really young. I feel like started back in 2003. That's where the story starts. There was once a hospital room. In that hospital room, on April 9th, 2003, this man popped out right here. The guy you gotta listen to right now. This boy. And with that
okay.
And with that came a lot of mental health issues.
I do want to ask, when were you guys first aware of mental health as a
concept?
Yeah.
For me it was probably in grade 6. I was aware of what mental health was. But I feel like I wasn't aware of it in a really bad sense.
Yeah, it was that age, grade 6, grade 7, the way they romanticize mental health online.
The glorification of mental and mental illness and self-harm.
In music, I want to say, just maybe not music, but how people treated music.
Yeah, I would say more just the fans of music. I don't want to call out 21 Pilots.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Just going straight to the deep end. I love 21 Pilots. They're my favorite band. I love them so dearly. But the fan base in 2015-ish was a bad place. It was a bad place to be in.
It was that genre. The 21. Wait, am I allowed to say? Am I allowed to name drop?
I guess 21 Pilots.
Yeah, 21 Pilots. You listen to the mashups of them, Halsey. Yeah. Melanie Martinez, Troye Sivan, Fall Out Boy,
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, exactly. That was but yeah, online there was a lot of talking about mental health, and being 12 or 13, I didn't have a full grasp of just how much went into mental health. In grades 6 and 7, it wasn't just that, but Wattpad books. That's how.
Wattpad books.
Yeah, okay. You'd always have a character that was written by someone who's your age, who also didn't have a full grasp of mental health and how much went into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a really surface level, romanticized, glorified version of what, I don't know, an anxiety attack was. They kissed and it was over. What the hell's that?
And this ties into that because I used to read a few Wattpad books back in my day. But not only that, kind of fan, not even edits, but just fan accounts who were 15, 13, 12-year-olds just talking about this stuff so nonchalantly. Just being oh, I guess before we get into this, I'd like
Oh.
to give a quick trigger warning.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking, I guess, as you guys know, mental health, but I guess I'll also talk a little bit. I'll touch a little bit on self-harm. That's okay with everyone here, and if you guys, I'll say trigger warnings before I actually say anything.
Is
But-
everyone in the room okay with that? Okay, we got thumbs up.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. We have Ella and Matthew behind the camera. Say hi.
Matthew's on the ground.
Matthew's lying down on the floor. Anyway, like kind of like these Wattpad books are just like easily talk about, you know, just a lot of self-harm in really, really funky ways, and like, you know, it just gets to a point where like it's cool to hurt yourself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and like when I first read about it, I was like 12.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I learned what it was. They didn't really
Yeah.
talk about mental health like that in school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't learn about different mental illnesses until I took anthro in grade 11. Well, like I already knew what it was before, but that was like my first full learning immersion into stuff like that. So learning that from a Wattpad book or like Twitter at the age of 12 on Stan Twitter,
Dude.
not the greatest way to, not the greatest resource.
How old are you, Anna, when you learned about what mental health was as a concept?
Well, I didn't have access to the internet until I was like 14. So, I don't know.
Did you just
I don't know. I was just, I guess, among my friends because, I don't know, they lived on the internet much more than I did. But probably, yeah, around grade 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, that
like YouTubers that would talk about it. I used to like avidly watch the vloggers, that big group that was like Tyler Oakley, Connor Franta, Zoe Sugg,
yeah,
Bethany Moda. I don't know, like that genre of YouTuber. Back then, whenever it wasn't like something like a creative content, sometimes they get deeper into mental health. So watching that as a like preteen.
Yeah.
That was also where I learned about mental health and how people could struggle with it.
I think, I don't know, because like, I don't know if you guys felt this way, but as I said earlier, it was just like, a lot of people thought like it was genuinely cool to be depressed. It was cool to like hurt yourself. You know, so it surrounded me with kind of like a group of people and a group of people online and offline of just people who like, I guess, like wanted to be mentally ill. And like I said now, because I say it now so funky, because like what the hell, but like, you know, when you're younger, like, you don't know that, and that carries on when you get older. Like when I got older into grade 9 and 10, then I kind of started realizing that my insecurities and the things that I do face, while a lot of it may have been to like, I guess, fit a quota of a 21 Pilots fan.
Oh my god.
I say that as a joke, but like it may have like been to like kind of be accepted. Like you kind of have to be depressed to be part of the clique, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, like part of me was there, but I started to realize that, hey, maybe as I kind of disassociated myself from the clique, I'm like, maybe I do have some issues.
Oh.
But we can get into that as we go down to get a little bit deeper about the actual issues.
If you get more comfortable with it, if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess talking back to Wattpad again, when your like protagonist had some kind of mental illness, you think, wow, it would be so cool if I had depression. Like, no, I'm sorry. Okay, I swear. It's just, but like the glorification of
like
people.
Her life is so interesting.
Yeah, or like it wasn't just me. I noticed how people would glorify the fact that they pulled out like Tylenol, and were like, "Oh, I'm taking my pills now." What?
I also like how you said like, oh, she was having an anxiety attack, and then a guy kissed her, and then GG. The anxiety attack over.
It's just so unrealistic, the portrayal of mental illness. I mean now I see it more often in media where it is less cliche, where it's more realistic. And I think do you think it works, like people, if you get to see like how media treats mental illness? Do you think it's more
Like right now?
Yeah, like if I watch a show and I used to watch a show and one of the characters had bipolar disorder, and a lot of people who also had bipolar disorder would praise the performance of it. The writing was good.
I think kids have it worse now.
Worse?
Worse.
Oh.
Hot take. Well, no. I think with TikTok. I think with TikTok and like social media and Netflix shows. 13 Reasons Why. Lol.
Oh my god! My brain is like emitting all this stuff. No, you're right. You're right.
No. I think a certain I think there's many more resources to understand mental health.
Yeah.
But I think kids it doesn't affect kids at all, because what they see is POV, you're depressed, and I knock on your door, and it's like a song that's just like we can spin that airplanes in the night, and that's the song in the background. It's POV, you're depressed, and I throw stones at your window. Boom. Depression cured.
Gone.
The side of TikTok that like my For You page, like my algorithm, is much different than like what my younger family friend will see. My younger family friend will see is really weird. It's like very like, I'm like other girls. I have depression.
Oh,
I have anxiety, by the way. Yeah, dude.
Oh, I see on. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a really inaccurate and strange portrayal of mental illness on social media. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like reaction threads on Twitter, where it'll be like high Q characters responding to you having an anxiety attack.
Oh
no! It's like made up text messages of your favorite high Q character. So like
Hinata.
No.
Hinata starts anxiety attacking with you. Bokuto also starts crying. Kageyama yells at you.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's just so like, what is so entertaining about it? Stop laughing.
That's so funny. That's so dumb. That's only funny because it's stupid. I'm not laughing at it as a serious thing. I think it's really funny because it's stupid.
Because I mean, you wouldn't use that as an actual coping mechanism, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to invalidate anyone's, but it's always written by someone who has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, like
that's the issue.
It's just like that's just a really weird way to personify somebody. Just
like, I guess you could like kind of see like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to justify it. Like, you know, you see like anime characters as like, here, wow, I find solace in anime, but like
your friends
that's completely different.
That's
like,
fine.
I notice like me when I like fixate on something like anime, or like just like, okay, when you have like an interest and you need something to kind of latch onto when you're just out of reality. Yeah, that's different. That's completely different, I think. But then when you're writing about
high-Q characters respond to anxiety.
Yeah, and you do that and it's completely inaccurate. Like, you know, Hinata coming over to you and giving you a kiss on the forehead, you're not gonna be okay. It's not ending like that. That's not.
Hinata would never do that. I'm kidding.
But it's just, but then, you know, when you're like younger, like, you think that that's how simple mental illness and mental health are. Well, it's not. It's a lot deeper than that. And when you have stuff like this all over the internet growing up, and it's the first thing you see about mental health and mental illness, it's very off-putting when you really see it happen, and it's like, wow, this is not what Wattpad said.
This isn't what. Wait, I just got a kiss. Why am I still like shaking? No, but like also on top of that, it's like, I feel like a few reasons why my depression and anxiety kind of formed was how I was exposed to media at a young age. And I think the reasons and like the points of interest of where the media spawned my anxiety and depression was the like kind of like the type of media I was watching. And I think with kids now, because there's a lot more representation, I think that may help them. For example, with me, like, I never saw a single brown person on TV. Like, ever. I didn't see a single Hindu person or anyone who looked anything like me, right?
Yeah, or if they were, it'd be like a serious stereotype that was like
And so with that being said, it was like I kind of like I yearned to be white.
Oh.
Like I was like, please God, I want to wake up one day. I want to come out of the shower one day. I want all the skin color to wash off, all the melanin go away. So yeah, that's kind of like, and then I guess that was just my first ever insecurity, and then that snowballed, right? And that had led to like a lot of insecurities when I grew up, and then I guess that may have spiraled into anxiety and depression. But of course, that's not the only reason. Being white. Like I don't want to be white anymore, I guess. Sorry, Maddie.
He does not know what's happening. Hi.
I would rather not be white. Matt just gave us a thumbs up. Okay, we're good. But like, I guess what I'm trying to say from this tangent is that maybe like the diversification that media has given may help kids who are like me feel a little bit better about themselves. But with that being said, 13 Reasons Why I messed up, dude. a lot of media is very funky when it comes to mental health. Have you guys watched 13 Reasons Why?
I watched the first season.
Have you, Anna?
No.
Good. Don't, dude.
It didn't look good to me.
It's
so
terrible. It's terrible.
Not very interested in watching it, you know.
It's really
but
bad.
It's just that even knowing that it has like, you know, dangerous topics or like serious things in it, kids want to watch it because of that.
Yeah.
They want to watch it because adults are telling them like, oh, this is an older, mature discussion. This is.
Yeah. Did your school get an email to not watch 13 Reasons Why? Do you remember?
We
got that.
Maybe.
Or like some kind of warning, like telling your kids not to. Because when we got it was elementary school, so we were
also pretty young.
We were young. But, you know, back then, like, kids making, or not even just back then, like now, people making edgy jokes that tie into mental health. And it kind of stops you from wanting to speak out about how you feel because you think everyone else is going to say, oh yeah, me too. Because that's what happens now. Like, when you discuss your own, what you're going through, the people around you might be like, oh, ha ha ha, me too. And you're like, oh, so this is normal.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Like, when it becomes like the term anxiety has gotten so like watered down.
Yeah.
Like someone's nervous for a test. Oh, I have anxiety right now. Well, you don't. Just shut up.
Yeah, like when, like, not to invalidate
of course.
how anyone's feeling, but if you're like nervous for a test, you're going in and you're like just sweating a little and you're like, I'm having an anxiety attack.
No, man, get out of here with that, dude. Are you kidding me? No, I'm playing. Partially.
But seriously, like it stops people from wanting to have a real conversation about it because they're worried that it's normal, that it's not something that needs to be talked about, that you'll get over
it. Big
it.
deal.
Yeah.
It's not.
And it's like, continue.
But I mean, like, if you do ever feel like that, it's hard to get out and reach for help. You know, like as much as media tells you, like they drop the, like, back then, like the kids' help phone number.
Yeah.
Or like the suicide hotline. You're like, do I really need to give him a call? You know, because like what you're feeling, you're kind of, it almost feels invalidated. Like you're just like everyone else. Everyone else is going through the same thing. And no one really encourages you to reach out for help because you talking about it is just a conversation that you and your friends are having, and it's quirky and it's fun.
Especially
talking about mental health.
Especially as an immigrant child. I don't know if this happens with y'all, but with me, my parents are super, super supportive of mental health right now, at least. Like, as I've gotten older and I've gone to the doctor and stuff like that, they've been super, super supportive, you know? But when I was younger, it was just like a whole lot of like, oh, you're too sensitive, right? My parents like the mafia, dude. Like, in a sense, they're great, don't get me wrong. But like when I was younger, I used to cry a bunch. Just cause like I'd watch a sad movie, or I watch a movie, right? And then there'd be this one scene that was so sad, and I start crying. Like, why are you crying? You gotta be a man, right? So with that being said, they kind of like hired my sister. They hired my sister to like be mean to me.
Oh.
So like
Artificial.
Oh, you
Artificial
told me
bullying?
this. You told me
no,
this.
no, no. They
and,
basically
yeah.
didn't hire her, but like they're like, she's gonna make you strong.
Recruited her.
Yeah, that's why whenever she was mean to me, she was a lot. Like she was an asshole to me as a kid.
You took advantage of it.
Bro,
She ran
yeah,
with that.
bro. My parents like, good job. You're doing good. Now I'm playing, but partially.
Yeah, I think they don't believe in it. Like they don't believe if you have, like, they'll acknowledge that it exists, but not that you have it.
Yeah.
Like,
If
there's
you
no
have
way.
if you have depression, get over it, dude. Are you kidding me?
You don't actually have it. Like,
Yeah. I came to this country. I worked 4 jobs, and you are in school. You're sad. 2 to 3 tests. You're sad.
Yeah. My mom used to ask me like regularly, like, "Are you happy? Do you want to die?" And I didn't know how to. Yeah, like fully just, "Do you want to die?" Like I did not know what to say. So I just went, "No, everything's fine." And then like that kind of evolved into her like recently. Actually, she was like, you wouldn't have depression. You're so happy at home. You're so happy at home.
That's
do you,
facts, dude. Bro, because especially like in grade 9, I don't know if you guys probably know this. I was a really like outgoing kid in grade 9.
Yep.
In grade 9, I was super outgoing. Like I was like all over the place, doing every single club. I was super happy, talking to every single person. I was doing so much. So that's why when grade 10, grade 11 rolled around, I'm like, there's no way I have depression. There's like, I gaslit myself.
Oh no.
I was like, there's no way. Like, I was that kid in grade 9, and then like my parents were like everyone around me was like, oh, like I see you as super happy. So like, how are you like this? And that made me kind of think about that.
I know, like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like,
you're right.
Force myself to. Okay, I have an account. It's called 365 Days with Emma, and it's don't follow it, but it's just like what I do every day, right? But it's like my everyday activities. I started in grade 9. And honestly, the reason I started it was just so that I could force myself to do something every day, just so I'd have something to talk about. Which is so stupid. But like, it gave like, do you ever need to make plans or like do something just to have something to look forward to? So that you have like a reason to get out of bed?
Yeah,
Yeah, so stuff like, so that's why during the pandemic when there was absolutely nothing to do, that was bad. Because there was like I know it was bad for everyone, maybe, or unless you could find something to do. But when there was absolutely nothing to do, it was like, why am I getting out of bed? Why am I here? Why am I alive? So it was just that every day, especially because school, they stopped giving us work. So on Mondays, Google Classroom would just flood with all the assignments for the week, right? And I'd speed run through them on Wednesday, so that on Thursday and Friday, I could watch anime.
Yep.
Because I like latched onto it during quarantine because there's absolutely nothing else to, and I was like spiraling out of control. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do now that I'm done all my work? So I was watching a movie on Netflix one night, and then all of a sudden I was like, that volleyball anime looks kind of cute. And that's when it all started.
That's when everything started.
But yeah, it was just
Emma made Kayla and I watch the volleyball anime.
I told them someone died.
Ha, you're so funny.
Yeah.
No. Don't watch anime.
But like having that thing, like it's always, I don't know, like I know people call them hyperfixations, but I don't know if that's like the right term, so I'm not gonna use it. But like just having a thing to stimulate your brain, like
dedicate your energy towards.
Yeah, like even if I don't mean to, like before, you know how I was a Troye Sivan stan.
Yep, I remember
when that started to die down, because he stopped doing stuff for like a year, and like everyone else I started to listen to, like just other artists I liked, I really like latched onto them. So when they all kind of just stopped doing stuff because of the pandemic, I stopped like attaching myself to them. Yeah, and then that's when it was like, wow, I have no purpose in life, and yeah, I just think that's really interesting because I know I'm not the only one. I know there are other people who kind of like, if they lose interest in something, then everything goes to like, not great.
No, yeah. I think like touching about I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, your feeling is very valid. a validation. But like you talked about like the pandemic and everything starting, but with that being said, everything stopping.
Yeah.
And dude, the pandemic was when like everything hit, for me. I always, like, as I was saying, when I was really young, I had like a lot of insecurities, stuff like that. I was anxious sometimes. I lost motivation. Didn't realize I had a will to live. All that jazz that a elementary school person has. Yeah.
Edgy teen.
This is a 21 Pilot. But when I was like when quarantine started, and it was grade 12 started. Ooh. September of grade 12 was when everything kind of went to for me. Like that was when everything kind of screwed itself over, and I screwed myself over. My anxiety peaked. Not, I wouldn't say peaked, but it like hit at first, like like Leviathan drops first and then it goes up again.
Yeah.
Like Behemoth, I mean, like it goes down first and it goes up. Behemoth is Candace Online. Anyway, it had that first drop, and then after that, depression followed. Everything. So quarantine really, really messed with me. What about you guys? Emma, you talk about what quarantine did, or
it was like a lot of time for self-reflection.
That's good.
No, but not great.
Never mind.
Mine was I think my mental health got really bad in grade 11 actually, pre-pandemic. Like it was I don't know what to blame it on. Maybe I could think leaving gifted.
Oh.
Like the whole I didn't go into AP like everyone else did, and going into grade 11, it was a really good summer too. No, like when I look back on it, 11th grade should have been really fun because I had a lot going on for me. It was great, but then like mentally, I was doing really poorly. I just felt a lot of worthlessness, like every time I screwed up anything. Ooh,
Yep.
Not good. Like yeah, I don't know. It really hit when. This is gonna sound really stupid because I know I laugh about it a lot when I failed my driving test. Like the 3 times I failed. Like yeah.
No, yeah.
That was like that was like the hitting point when I was like, wow, very worthless.
I am worthless. Yeah, no.
Why?
No, dude, I know exactly how you feel. I know
just
exactly
like any like course of failure that not even failure, like I think we talked about this in the gifted academic episode. That's getting out like a bad grade. Did you talk about that?
Yeah, no, we did.
Yeah, like the high 90. So leaving gifted when that environment stopped, but I was around people who expected it still because
you were gifted.
I was gifted, yeah. So when I couldn't help someone with like a math problem, I'd be like,
I thought you were gifted.
You've done it again, you big worthless piece.
Aren't you like gifted or something?
But no one ever said that to me. I knew it was all in my head. No one ever but it was
all
in my head, and it was just so. It was just that constant voice telling. Okay, not voice, but
okay, quick role play. Hey, can you help me with this math problem, Emma?
Sure. You know what? Actually, I don't really know how to do that. You might have to ask someone else, like someone smarter than me, someone who's more capable of mathematics. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the judging look, but I know they're not. I know. Like,
yeah,
it's there.
You know they're not mad at you or anything because like they don't know the question either.
It, but
in your head you're like, I'm worthless.
You're so useless.
I'm worthless. How about you? if you're comfy sharing,
do you feel useless?
How did pandemic hit you?
Well, so with school, I really. I'd never had my friends in my class. So, that just always makes everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, all my classes, like every day going to school, the only thing that I would look forward to is the classes where I enjoyed the subject, which would just be music. Like, there wasn't anything else that I liked to, looked forward to going to. So then, when we hit lockdown, there was no more music in school.
Just theory.
Yeah.
Smart music. We talked about smart music before.
In the band, and there was nothing for me to look forward to. So, I don't know. I was really dejected and just so unmotivated to do anything school related.
Yeah.
So much that I would, and my parents would always be asking me about it, and I'd just be like, I'm doing work. Like, I'm just
tired. I just didn't get my sleep last night. Talk about pandemic, dude. I got 0 sleep during the pandemic. Dude, I can't sleep in.
I
Like,
can't. Oh,
I
yeah.
can't sleep
You
in.
guys can't sleep in?
No, I
No.
wish I could, dude.
I can kind of now, but it's bad. I have to fix it. Like, Matthew's shaking his head. But yeah, the pandemic was bad. Like,
Dude,
we were up until 5 a.m. and then
y'all slept?
yeah, I still slept. Like, I can't not sleep.
Y'all slept? I'm playing.
But like, we'd be like on call for hours,
Dude,
until like, and
so
I
long.
never did that. Like, I remember the year like 2020 after New Year's Eve. That was the latest I'd been awake because we slept at like 4. I was like, wow, this is a new
That's how
hour.
it feels.
And then
It's
now
like-
it's normal.
No, on God, I don't think. Okay, I'm proud of myself in a way. I've never actually stayed up 24 hours, even during the pandemic. I always slept 22 hours, and then slept for like 4 hours, but 22 hours. I've never stayed up for 24 hours. You're welcome, Mom. I am gonna be a doctor.
Oh wow! Listen to him.
No, but like I used to stay up until literally sunrise playing like 2K or Minecraft.
Oh
my goodness.
Or like redecorating my room. I changed my room
Wow.
so much during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
But it's weird, right? Because you're like, I don't want to be awake during the day, but then you're awake during the night. Like, what? Make up your mind.
Yeah, no, and then you'd wake up and then be like, damn. I'd be lying in bed. I'd stay in bed literally on TikTok until like 5 p.m. I'd go down, eat something, come up, start playing video games again, and just like go to repeat. And with that came depression.
Dun, dun, dun.
Depression. No, yeah, that was. I say it. Okay, I guess for reference, when I talk about depression, and I talk about anxiety, I also kind of pair that. I just touched Emma's foot with my phone.
Back to serious topic.
I pair depression and anxiety with a bunch of like jokes and stuff like that. I guess it's a way to cope. I think it's depression and anxiety is not something to joke about, but I try to keep my conversations lighthearted about it, just so it's not that serious, trying to make sure it's not serious, don't worry about it. I'm fine, don't worry about it, I'm chilling.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm not making any joke, I'm not making any light of depression or mental health, but I guess that's a little precursor. 38 minutes into our recording. Anyway, we talked about pandemic. We talked about being immigrants.
Can we talk more about sleeping?
Sleeping, yes.
Yeah. So not just like sleeping. Like, do you guys ever sleep in? And you're like, I wasted the whole day, and it's like 11
My
p.m.
parents tell me
11
that
a.m.
every single day.
It freaks me out. I hate it. That's why I can't sleep in. I can't stay in bed and think this is okay. Like, it's not okay. I have to get out. Like, I have to do something, even if it's just like
brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, dude, I lost so much motivation, and like, I would lie in bed, and I would wake up, and I just stay in bed, and I'd know that I'm wasting my day. I know like I'm like disappointing my parents in a way, but I'd still stay in bed. Brushing my teeth was a chore, dude. I had to get out. It was so tough to brush my teeth. Not in like a unhygienic way, but in like a I can't do anything type of way. And like opening my window was also pretty tough.
Yeah, just like getting up to do anything was hard, and then when you got there, I have to like make a schedule of things.
I gotta do it now. I got up for this. I gotta do it now.
Like getting up and doing like almost like a list of what do I have to do today, even though there was nothing to do. So I'd have to like pick up random stuff to do. Like, I'm gonna paint a picture. I'm gonna finish a whole season of Haikyuu. I'm gonna pick up embroidery. Like New Year's resolution. Yeah. That's like forcing yourself to do stuff. Like, not just like, I do have interest in it, obviously. But like forcing yourself to find interests, or else like, then what are you gonna do? Or I don't know. Having nothing to look forward to at all is very, very. It's a very weird feeling, because you're like, where does this put me? Where do I go now?
And it was also like, I was in a state where like I had nothing to look forward to, but then I realized like I had so much free time that it like kind of killed me. But at the same time, I was thought to myself like, oh, in like 3 months when I go into university, I'm gonna have not 3 months. In like a year when I go into university, I'm like, not have any free time at all. So I'm wasting this time by being.
Yeah, and then I hate myself for it.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, get out, get moving.
Yeah. So we talked about, I guess, growing up, being immigrants or immigrant children.
Oh.
I want to talk about like kind of our age, our age right now. I guess for context, I've gone to the doctor for mental illness and stuff like that, and I've been like diagnosed and stuff like that, and my life has changed a lot after being diagnosed. I'm not gonna. All I know is I only know my experience with being diagnosed because I'm the only person. I know myself. Anyway,
would you say it's changed for the better or the worse?
I'd say better.
Okay,
much better.
That's good. That's good to hear.
I was terrified to go to the doctor. Like terrified. You can ask any of these people. I was like ranting in the group chat. I was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna go in. They're gonna tell me I have depression, and no one's gonna look at me the same. Like I was scared to be diagnosed because I feel like when I come out of it, I'll be a different person. But in reality, I really wasn't. I was still the same person as I walk. Like literally, I walk in 20 minutes, I'm still the same person, right?
Yeah.
At this point, I just didn't like the label, right? But after getting that label, after getting the medication which I needed, well, I wouldn't say needed. Here's some tea.
Oh.
I don't like my medication. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me.
Okay.
But that's just me. I know the medication works for a lot of people, but it just doesn't work for me. I have other methods to deal with it. But I guess like kind of going past that first hurdle and like actually understanding that yes, I have depression or I have anxiety is like the biggest part for me. Because I was talking to Kayla about this, and them and I were like, we talked about how it like felt like everyone had it. Because our friend group, right? We share like same problems and stuff like that. So I guess we all thought like, yeah, no, this is normal. I don't have depression. If we're all going through the same thing, we don't all have depression, do we? It's not possible.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I meet new people and start talking to them, and then I realize how different, like my worldview of like 10 people. These 10 people are not normal. Like,
yeah,
we're not.
Yeah.
Reality.
I was looking at us all funky. All right. Okay.
No, but like you meet people who are so.
Happy.
I don't know.
You're so joyous in
no,
life,
I know.
dude.
I hate to say it. It's just people who are so like, so ready to go every day. Who are so like positive.
And of course, like you don't know everyone's story. Like I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but like you realize that like I don't judge. Like I never want to assume someone either has or doesn't have depression, but it's just like you start to realize that like okay, maybe I have depression. Maybe
but it's
I
like this
have
friend
anxiety.
group, this whole friend group. Like we can always say like, oh, I understand what you're going through. But then you go to like other people, you talk to them, not like trauma dumping on them or anything, just like kind of like they ask you and you're like, oh yeah, this is how I feel about this, and they're like
even,
are you okay?
Like your friends who are not as close but still your friends, and they
or even like your parents, dude.
And then and then everybody's sharing, and then you get to these people who are just like, oh yeah, I know this is an issue. I've never experienced that though, and you're like,
yeah, or like I was reading
never.
What?
Yeah, right. Like for music council, there were people who one of the questions was like, how have you kept motivation during the pandemic, right? And I was reading through them, and people were like, some people were saying, yeah, I had a lot of difficulty maintaining motivation, finding stuff for me to do, making goals for the day. But then there'd be other people who were like, I actually didn't feel that my motivation was affected at all by the pandemic. And I was like, wow. Go you!
Wow! Bro, you are better than me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
You're in grade 10 doing better than me.
For real, like, I know, like, it's different, I guess, based on age, because we were stressing about university and stuff. Like, oh, yeah, that was a big thing. Like, in grade 11, when they stopped marking us.
The pressure.
Yeah, like, everything, because I work off pressure. Like, I work off the fear of failure. Mm-hmm. But the problem was, they stopped inputting our grades that were lower than our average. Our averages could go up, but they couldn't go down. So I was like, what is the point? And the reason I did my work was because we were in grade 11. I was worried in grade 12 I'd go back to school and my teachers that I had during the pandemic would look at me like, you didn't do your work last year. Why are you
here?
Yeah, so I was worried about that. But if it had been grade 12 and my marks were locked in, I don't know if I don't know, because then work gave me a sense of purpose, but at the same time, I'm thinking, like, where would I have found the motivation to do anything? Because I know a lot of the grade 12s that I knew that year that had been accepted into university already gave up. They were like, what's the point?
Yep.
Which is true.
Yeah,
why waste your time? Like, why waste your teacher's time marking your work, too? To be honest.
Make it easier for everyone.
Exactly. But it's just that, without that, I think, like, if they had completely stopped giving us work, I don't know what I would have done Monday to Friday. Because I knew at least Saturdays, Sundays, I could, I don't know, bake with my mom. And then Thursday, Friday, speedrun a new anime.
Yep.
But then Monday to Wednesday, that was my work day. Without work, what am I going to do?
And, like, as, like, what we were saying earlier, just, like, the whole, like, realizing that, like, we're not normal in a way. Like, that sounds so funky. That sounds
We
so funky.
aren't.
Like, that sounds like, so, like, I'm so quirky. I'm not like that, like, girls. Like, you know, I guess realizing that there's something up, you know? That was, like, the biggest hurdle for me. You know, I get past that hurdle, and then my parents are informed. You know, everyone, I feel like, I felt like everyone saw me in a new light, like, numbing with depression.
Oh, God.
Right.
How do you bring that up with your parents? I can't. I really cannot.
My parents are super supportive.
Okay, that's
like,
good.
nowadays, they're really good. So shout out my parents. You guys are the best. My sister's also really supportive. Yeah, I don't really talk about too much with my grandparents, but my whole family's pretty good, and it's like they always want to help me. They always try their best to, like, kind of support me in a way, and so I'm really grateful for that. My support system is really huge. I also have a very, very nice group of friends. Thanks, guys.
That's us.
That's you guys. I have a very, very cool girlfriend as well. She's very cool.
Yeah.
She does a lot of things. Shout out to girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Go girlfriend. She does a lot of things. Very grateful. Honestly, my support system is really good. Whether that be my girlfriend, my family, my best friends here.
Yay.
My support system is really good.
That's good. You deserve
it. Thanks, best friend.
Wow.
No, yeah, no, I love my peers. You guys went from best friends to peers.
Acquaintances.
I love my acquaintances.
Yeah. I think it's good now. I think being around people who have a good, or I guess at least a firmer grasp on mental health than they did in 8th grade. I mean, the 8th grade friend group, everyone was like, haha, what pad book?
I have anxiety. I got it 95 on my test.
Yeah. I don't know. Everything has been better, I guess. It's
been better.
It's not as bad as, like, elementary school where you were, like, totally in the dark.
I like to say it's like looking up, you know? Like, it's like I have hope for the future, which is something I didn't have as a kid. Like, it was really funky, dude. I woke up one day, I was, like, crying, like, bawling my eyes out in my room. And, like, my parents like, what's wrong? Like, I don't have motivation. I don't know what to live for. I was in, like, grade 6, dude.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. I don't know any grade 6 doing that. I'm playing, but, like, I'm not playing, but okay. Anyway, like, nowadays, like, I have motivation. I have things to look for. I have support systems, and I have, like, you know, good things. And it's like, wow, go me.
Yes, having things.
Wahoo!
Okay.
Wahoo!
Yeah, I think without.
Thanks, Matthew.
Without,
You gave a thumbs up behind the camera.
So true.
King.
I think without a support system, just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to bring it up with my parents when I'm not feeling like they just have to. Like, if I'm in a bad mood, they'll just be like, teenage mood swings.
Right.
And I'd be, like, sitting there like, oh my god, I
Like,
want to
it's
die
just-
so bad.
It's a teenager thing.
But it's so, like, but you see it a lot. Like, people going, I want to die. Like,
Dude,
exactly.
so much.
Like, it's everywhere, so you don't understand
just
when
how
things
dire
are
it is.
not normal.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, I remember when you were, like, younger, like, that whole, like, joke insult to be, like, tell some random person, like, oh, kill yourself. Or, like, oh, like, I want to kill myself. Like, you know, you say it now with, like, I understand, like, the caution behind it. And, like, I'm, like, that. But, like, back then it was so normal.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
oh,
a
kill
lot of
yourself.
people still say it now. But
Yeah,
I
dude.
think it's, like, because they're all on the internet. It's not right, but it's how everyone's, like, coping. So, I don't know. Like, who needs help? Who needs?
Ooh, yeah,
who
who's
needs?
joking?
Who needs to be
help?
reached out to?
Exactly, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like, there's only so much you can really do. And like, as like, I don't know, I feel really bad for parents. Like, I talked to my parents about this. I feel really bad for them because like I know they really want to help, but there's nothing they can do
Mm.
because realistically, my issues spawn from media and the internet. So when media and the internet grows at a much faster rate than me and my parents do, but I'm the one consuming it,
Yeah.
they don't understand, and that's not their fault.
Yeah. Like my parents wouldn't really get that it's normalized online.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
to them, something like depression is very like whoa.
Yeah,
You know?
calm down there.
Yeah, like that's a big
That's
thing.
a 1 in a 10,000 chance you get that. Yeah, you're not getting that.
Yeah, they think because like it's not anyone's fault. It's just my parents are always saying like, or not saying, but they think that my upbringing has been very happy. That I've had a really happy childhood.
Yeah, you're able-bodied.
Yeah.
You have a roof for your head.
Yeah,
you have
and
food.
I'm very grateful for like all that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really stop any
Mm-hmm.
any issues along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not always there. Like I was saying, I think school is the biggest factor of any, like how my mental health is.
Yep.
Like not even exams. Like it's not really the stress. It's just the pressure, like the fear of failure.
Fear of failure is big.
Yeah, being on music council without any motivation during the pandemic, like having to do work when you have no drive to do it is always like, oh, forcing myself to once again do this or else I will get in so much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I will get kicked off. I will lose everything that I've worked for in the last 3 years. So that was not fun to look forward to every day. Just not just music council, just school. Like, how will this affect how people see me? How will this affect my future if I don't live up to what other people are expecting of me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What have we? I remember there was something I wanted to talk about. We talked about childhood. We talked about immigration. We talked about being an immigrant child. We talked about school, medicated. What am I missing? How about social media?
Yeah. Anna, do you have
anything you want to talk about?
I don't know.
How have we all have siblings here?
Yes.
How is like without like outing if your siblings have any mental health issues?
I don't know.
Like how is like your relationship with them in relationship to mental illness? Like, can you guys talk to them about it? Like, do you guys fear for them? Do you guys like?
I do a little bit because my brother is 12. I have a younger brother, like I've talked about a lot. He's 12 though, and that's when I found out about mental health, right? And he's consuming pretty much the same media as I am or did when I was a kid. Like I see him on Pinterest a lot. That's very interesting to me. He's also on Discord.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know
like
what
me.
like it's what his friends talk about. I learned it from my friends. If his friends are talking about it, he's gonna know about it, and I'm pretty sure he does because he used to make jokes like that, which is a little concerning. But it's I don't know how to talk to him about it because I don't have like I can't give him advice.
Yeah.
I can't tell him what to do. Like I don't even know what
You
to
can
do.
give him guidance.
I don't even have guidance. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm struggling myself. I don't want to put that on him. But I also I think when he's older, if anything, I do tell him that at least if you want to talk, I'm here. But I'm not. I'm going to university. I'm not going to be there for him.
I guess like leaving him with like, I don't know, like I couldn't tell you, dude. I don't know everything. Anna, how about you? You have a brother.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, in my family, we're all really bottle up people. So I don't talk to them about this kind of stuff. I just don't feel like very comfortable just talking to my family about that stuff. Just because personally, maybe it's because I'm the oldest daughter, that kind of stuff, but I've done the most to keep my family out of my own mental health concerns so they can focus on themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sometimes it's really bad for me at least, just to not be able to talk to my family.
I feel like I'm disappointing them if I say anything. Like, if
Yeah,
I ever
like
vocalize
you
my
spent
concerns.
so many hundreds and thousands of dollars on me. You spend millions even, maybe. And I end up depressed?
Oh, shit.
Come on.
For real.
Y'all.
But yeah, my mom will say stuff like, "Oh, I know you can tell me anything. I know you're a happy girl." And then when she says that, I'm like,
yeah. You can tell me anything. Because I know you're such a normal, happy girl, yeah?
yeah. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, mother. Absolutely. Yay. So it would be such, I don't know how I'd react if, like, yeah, I don't want to say that to my parents. It'll be like dropping a bomb on them.
Yeah.
Because they really don't know, right? Like, with that amount of unawareness, it's like, yeah, everything's fine.
Yep.
So true.
So true, bestie. My sister and I are chill. When it comes to this topic, it's like, we talk about it a lot. Sometimes 50%, 65% of the time doesn't end up good for me.
Oh. All right.
35% of the time, but the more important 35% is, so it's like weighted, right? So it's like 50-50. She has a lot of good insight because she goes through a lot of the same things that I do, and she's really like, she talks to me a lot about it, and it's good. But a lot of times I like, no, yeah, but she's really good. My sister's super sweet to me, so we talk about it. We're pretty open about it to each other, which is good, which I like a lot.
You were both adults.
We are technically both adults.
Crazy.
But you guys have brothers, and like, I know like I want to kind of like touch on like the fact that, like, I guess I share solidarity with both your brothers because we're all three younger brothers.
Oh, true.
Literally.
Oh, you and your sister have the same age gap as my brother and I.
Yeah,
Right.
but like we grew up in different times, so
Yeah.
but like mental health in guys is different than it is with girls and stuff like that, because I guess obvious reasons, the patriarchy and stuff like that, you know.
But it may be, I don't know, just based on observation, it could be harder for men to speak out on mental issues that they may experience.
The patriarchy.
Because I do hear a lot of like, oh, boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
Right? You know, that
you
whole
feel the bottom of
thing.
your
I know that is its issue with boys, and just growing up, you know, you're like told to bottle up your feelings.
Yeah, and like the community that guys have is not too good, you know, like it's normal to see a girl crying, but like you see a guy crying, everyone's flaming him in the Instagram comments, right? And that has to tie into patriarchy, you know. Well, of course, people still flame girls for crying in the Instagram comments. Don't get me wrong. I see so many. It's really annoying. But
it's
like,
just because having emotions is associated with
being,
femininity.
Right?
Yeah, that's weird.
So being a guy, it's really tough, you know. It's good. Okay, it's so tough.
It's so hard being a boy.
I wake up and God.
A man again.
Being a guy.
Damn.
God, that was a joke. But being a guy and dealing with mental health issues is pretty tough. Not to say that not being a guy is not okay. You guys know what I mean.
It's its own struggle.
There is
one.
On top of having no one to talk to as a kid, like, you're also a guy and you can't cry. You know, your parents, especially for immigrant kids, it's like, you can't cry. Go outside and play sports. Go do homework or something like that.
I don't know. I used to hang out, like, sometimes my family friends would come over and they'd be boys, and they'd get hurt and they'd cry, and then their moms would be like, "Look at Emma. Emma's not crying. Like, I didn't get hurt. I'm fine."
Look, your sister's not crying. Why are you crying?
For
Insert
real.
bad word.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm playing. But like, I know like there are like a lot of statistics about like suicide rates in men and depression rates in men. I know it's like, I'm pretty sure like the suicide rate in men is like 2 or 3 times higher than women.
Should we look it up?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Whatever. It's like 2 or 3 times more than women. But I guess like it is bigger substantially. And that is due to, like, I guess the patriarchy, but I'm not gonna get into that now. If you want to hear about the patriarchy, check out our latest
Talk.
episode of Girl Talk. I'm playing.
Or any episode of Girls.
Yeah, or
No,
any
for real.
episode of Girl Talk. We're also going to talk about the patriarchy and guy talk soon. That's
Ooh.
exciting. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, as a guy, it's tough to talk about stuff like this, and I understand like we're the root of a lot of these issues, and there's not much you can really do about it. I guess it's just something to notice. Like, as much as I like want to dismantle these systems in place, not much you can really do about it besides knowing that it's okay to talk to people.
Yes.
Knowing that mental health is like a serious thing, like as serious as physical health, if not even more. Because actually, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, it really sucks because like you can say stuff like find yourself a good support group.
That's
Or
tough, dude.
Talk about it, but like some people aren't comfortable with talking about
That's
it.
really tough.
But if you are, I hope that there is a support group for you to open up to.
There is also the Kids Help Phone.
Okay.
I'm be 100% honest, dude. Kids Help Phone is the best thing ever, dude. I've called them like 7 times this past month.
Oh,
on God,
really?
yeah, dude. Like
Smarties box.
I've called
Keep
them.
it
Like,
on.
I've
Keep it
called
on
them
you.
like 3 times in 1 week. Like just so earlier of last month, I was having a really really bad week, terrible week. I disassociated myself from a lot of people, and with that being said, I felt like I had like no one to talk to. I called Kids Help Phone like 3 times in the span of 2 days. Just in the sense like they don't know who you are, they don't know anything about you, they don't know anything besides how to comfort you and how to be a counselor. And they are so good at it, dude. I would call them and I'd have like a 40-minute conversation. I was talking to someone about how much I loved animals. I was talking to someone about how I gave a funeral to a butterfly, which I ran over with my bike.
Oh, buddy.
After having an anxiety attack. Didn't kiss me. It was in Wattpad. But it was like serious. It was like they genuinely helped me. And like if you guys are like ever in a time of need and you need someone to talk to and you can't talk to anyone, if you feel like you can't talk to anyone, please call someone. And that someone could be Kids Help Phone.
Real review.
Real review.
Kids Help Phone.
Real review.
Put the link in the description.
Put the number in the description.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, if you need someone, please call like Kids Help Phone or something like that.
Yeah.
Kids Help Phone is very swag.
Yeah,
All
because
my homies
they're professionals.
They're professionals.
Yeah.
This is their
And
job.
they're free.
And it's
True.
free. Dude, like the one issue that you like I can take from Kids Help Phone is that they can't monitor your success or your growth, right? And they can't give you personalized help, but that's okay. I feel like if you're in a dire time and like the only thing on your mind is anxiety and stuff like that, they are the perfect first step to get you calmed down and stuff like that. They're amazing at that. And like it's so good. And of course, if you want to like get asked for help and you need more help, that's where you get your own counselor, your own therapist. But in the meantime, Kids Help Phone is an amazing resource, and they're like super super good. Like they're very good. Like I can't stress how amazing they are. Like they've helped me so much this past month.
It's nice to have them because sometimes you're not comfortable talking to your friends about what you're going through, like you said.
You
Especially when they're going through stuff too.
Yeah, you don't want to burden them.
Like if you're like, it's totally valid if your friends aren't comfortable talking to you about this stuff because I mean, they're probably your age.
It takes a toll on them as well.
Yeah, and they probably you don't want to put that on them because like if anything happens to you, like
it becomes on their conscience.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that to anyone.
And on top of that, it's just like I know in my sense, I just don't want people to perceive me like I hate people thinking of me as like he's so weak, like he's like he has these issues, and I know my friends don't perceive me as that, but at the end of the day, I don't want to put that burden on them, and I think to myself like, oh, this is too much for them, which may or may not be the case, but nonetheless, I still choose to call a Kids Help Phone. And it's funny, every time I call them, I say, quick trigger warning.
Really?
Yeah, we talk about mental health, and you're like, fam, that's our job, dude. What are you saying? Or like, I'll be like, I'm sorry for dropping this on you. They're like, what are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah, but they'll be super nice about it.
What are you talking about, sweetie?
yeah, this is actually my job, darling. I'm
For
like,
real?
no, they
Oh.
won't say that. They won't say that. They're actually
That's a
sweethearts.
little
They'll be like,
funny.
oh, that's actually really sweet of you for saying that. But like, I'm trained at this. Like, oh yeah, you are trained at this.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, no, like they're really sweet, and like I'm always like, wow, thank you so much for this conversation. I always think I'm always like, your job is so admirable. You should be so proud of yourself. You're doing so amazing. You are so good. And they're like, that's so sweet. I'm like, I
Aww.
love you so much. I
Thank
literally
you,
want
Paul.
like the first counselor I remember. I don't remember her name, but dude, I wanted to give her the biggest hug ever. Dude, she was the sweetest person in the world. So shout out you if you're watching. So you remember my voice.
Just the voice. Hey, whoa! Now it's not anonymous.
Oh,
Take it back.
never mind. You don't know me.
You don't. Why did Matthew look at it? But,
Okay.
yeah, like just
Wrapping stuff up, I guess. in
sure.
general. Or do you have anything to talk about?
No, I don't. I don't know how to end this because I don't want to say like if you're ever
If you
going
ever
through
need-
something.
Hit us up.
No,
Don't.
we can't.
We can't really help you personally, and we're not professionals.
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't want to give you wrong advice.
Yeah.
That would be terrible for you, and
For all of us, dude.
yeah, it's not gonna end well. But definitely,
Reach out.
yes, if
Something.
you can, if you're comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
if you.
Do you have any final words, Anna?
Nope.
All right. I guess that's wrapping things up. I guess to one final thing, just like as what Emma was saying, just reach out to someone if need be.
If you really.
There are a lot of resources, and you're not alone. I guess I don't want this to sound like one of those like really bad like
Yeah.
infomercials like 90% of kids
Stop.
have deal with
Mhm.
mental health
But
issues.
for sure, like
You are not alone. Like I don't want
but
to
you
sound
really
like that.
aren't. You really aren't alone. Like honestly, this episode for me has been more reassuring. I think.
Yeah, no, like it being vulnerable, like this vulnerable on an episode is
Yeah.
it's very tough, but it's also like you find solace in the fact that like you have the ability to talk about it, right?
Yes.
And
And
it-
that people close to me feel the same
Mhm.
about certain things.
Yeah.
Yes. So I do hope this episode that you heard some things and were like, huh, I feel that way
Me
too.
too.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Anyway, hope you guys. I feel weird plugging our
I
Instagram
know.
now.
Sorry guys, we love you. Thank you for
uh,
listening.
I guess if you want to, you can check us out on social media at Capcom's Podcast. You can subscribe if you'd like. You can drop a like if you'd like. But make sure to reach out if you need anyone. That is something you should do.
Are you gonna plug the socials? Tell them to subscribe and everything?
Convos podcast.
Ish.
That's us.
That's
This
us.
is so awkward. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. It's tough to
It
end
is,
this.
it
It's tough to
is.
end this. We love you all. You're not alone. Your feelings are very valid. Whatever you're feeling, don't try to like, I guess like step on yourself. Don't try to gaslight yourself, like we did. No, I'm playing. But your feelings are very valid. And you're not alone. So make sure to reach out if you ever need anything. Try to find someone who's professional, who actually can help you. And yeah,
See you in the next episode.
we hope you enjoyed.
Bye, guys.
Yes, make sure. Wait, we have to plug the stuff.
We kind of have. Make sure to check us out on Spotify. I mean,
Stop laughing, Matthew.
make sure to check us out on TikTok and Instagram at the Capcom's Podcast. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to drop a follow. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and tap the bell button and subscribe. Subscribe and like the video to help the YouTube algorithm.
Oh. Okay. Good
Or
job,
if-
Naman.
Or
Yes.
if you enjoyed it,
Yes. I mean, the main goal is to make sure that you guys have something to listen to that, I don't know, that you can relate to.
Mm.
Or just listen to.
Yep.
But thank you for listening to our episode. And
Episode
we'll see you
about
guys
mental health.
next time. Yes.
deuces.
Bye.